we're gonna make a simple little mini app now. We're gonna make a simple like to do app. So let's just start to kind of sketchboard this out. So, on like, Rob Notes. That's the name of my company. We're going to be a Fortune 500 company within a week. We should put some sample reviews on, like cook dinner, do laundry, all this stuff in here. Then what we might want to do, for example, as mentioned, is we might want to put these in a div and v4 over them. So I'm going to do v4 note. Maybe we want to get the location of the notes as well. So we'll get note index in notes. I'm going to put a note in here. And actually, maybe we want to make these. Maybe we would like to do these in a list. So we'll do a UL. Oh, it's not notes, it's to do. There we go. So now we've got, again, this is like what we had before, we've got a very simple to-do list set up. We all good?
No.
Okay.
Give me a sec.
I was expecting you to
Sorry,
say
no,
you're smart.
I didn't completely delete all the leftover. Yeah, I'm good. I had a few bits of leftover code that I didn't realize I hadn't deleted, which were doing bad things. Nah, I'm good.
Okay. Fab. Okie dokie. So we've got this little note thing now. So you should all hopefully see your own mini little notes app, yeah?
Yes.
Yep.
So we'd probably like two things. The first thing is the first thing we probably do that's quite easy. Let's add in an input here type. Let's put in this in like a span or something. And we'll put in a bit of text here that says, or maybe not. Add new note. And then we'll put next to it, we'll put in an input element. It's a type text. So we'd quite like it in here, that if you could type out, here's, and you do this thing, that it would add it on here. Yep. That would be kind of a nice feature to add. I presume so. I think it'd be quite cool. Actually, let's just take it out the H4. Who needs an H4 anyway? I'd like it to be on the same line anyway, like that. That looks a bit more stylish. So as you might know from your vast experience, how would we think we start tackling this problem? What's the first thing we think we should do?
Ask what event them putting input is.
Yep. So we know that typing in here is just input, but we maybe just want to listen for when they hit enter. Like we don't want to add something new to the to this list every time they type a letter. Like that would just be insane. So what we could use is we could use the key down. Yep. And then we could use dot enter. We could use dot enter. So remember that this dot automatically just checks whether the key is an enter. And then what we want to pass in, we probably want to have some function called. So let's call a function called add note. And then we're going to go into our methods. And in here we'll add a function called add note, which takes in the event, which I'm going to call event for this case to make it a bit simpler.
It feels like we're making a real thing.
It does.
Yeah. We'll just put a little note here just to check this works. We'll put in note added just to check this works. So we're going to go into our console, type around, hit enter, and you see it says note added, which implies that we should be it's time to add a note.
Nice.
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 Is everyone kind of happy with that? Don't worry, your little worlds are about to all be blown away when something very bad is about to happen.
Oh no, Rob.
Spoilers. Okay, so how would we? So going from this event, how would we get this text from the event? Any ideas? Don't worry if you like can't remember the exact JavaScript thing. Just say
one of the properties or whatever was it. Like you could do a dot something, value dot value.
So value, yeah. So dot value is what you want to use on the actual input element, but we need to get the actual input element from the event, and we use target. So target gets the element that fired this event. That's just a general thing. So event.target selects this input element, and then we would do dot value. Yeah. Do you guys know how to append to a JavaScript array?
I've forgotten.
I've forgotten. Looking back,
so you would do
np.append.
No, it's the same. It's called dot push.
Yeah.
Does the exact same thing. So now you think to do this, and you think this would work lovely. Oh, it does. It's not supposed to work. That works. Okay, that's not supposed to do. You weren't supposed to do that. I'm gonna put that. That's where we need a meme to come in. There. Can I add memes? Can I add memes to the video? I can add memes to the chat. I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god, it works.
To be fair, it doesn't work for me.
Okay.
Work for me.
We weren't supposed to do that. That's the meme we want right now.
Oh, no,
You see, it adds it in.
Yeah.
How does that work? Oh, actually, I know exactly why that works. Okay, yeah, no, that is supposed to work. That's fine. That does work.
Okay.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. And I'll explain why I thought that wasn't going to work, and then why I was like, oh, that works. But that's really nice, isn't it? Like that. Think of how clean the code is to do this.
Yeah.
And think of how messy to do this would be in vanilla JavaScript or something like jQuery. And we can go into our root element here in our view inspector, and we can see it's actually adding it. It's doing the right thing. It's updating this data array here with all the stuff we want. So now what we'd like to do is maybe remove notes as well. So we maybe want to do a delete, and we're going to put this delete inside of this button here. We can put a big cross next to it like that. Actually, we could just put a big X. Maybe that'll do the trick. Go away. Yeah, that looks like an incredible user interface. And note that because of the way this template works, we can automatically just be like, do something else, and it will automatically give us a nice little button for us automatically. That's kind of nice. But now we want to make this button actually do something. So once again, we're now going to use the v on. So we're going to do v on click. And now we want to do remove note. And again, we're going to pass in a method here. And again, we get an event. Okay, that's a bit odd. And actually, so we could use the event.target, couldn't we? But the thing is, event.target refers to the button. Yep. And then we want to actually remove the list element. Yeah, this li. So that's kind of a pain to do because we'd have to like go up and select the whole li and then remove it. It would be really nice if we could get the index of where this button is in the array. Oh wait, we can pass in idx because we have idx from this v4. So we could change this. We don't actually need the event in this case. We just need the index.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
And now what we want to do is we just want to remove whatever's at this index. And the way you do that in JavaScript, again, it'd be so nice if there was like a remove at, but there isn't. You have to do this .to do. This is going to blow all your minds. You have to use a thing called splice. The first thing is the index. So that's going to be I. And then it's splice basically works by you start at an element index, and then the second argument is the number of things you want to remove. So it's slightly bizarre. So then you have to do 1 to say I want to go at index and I want to remove 1 element. It's slightly crazy like that.
That's weird.
Oh wow, it works.
It
And then, yeah,
works. Yay.
Now you can edit, remove stuff. That feel pretty cool?
That's pretty cool.
Now we're gonna do the thing that will probably break everything. And we're gonna do the forbidden fruit, which is that we're gonna add in another. How do we do this correctly? We're just gonna add in inside of here. We're gonna add in like an edit, an input to editor. I haven't done this before. It's maybe a bit crap.
What we're gonna.
I'm just trying to think of what the best way to do this is, because basically there's one more concept I think I need to show that's rather important. Well, actually, you know, I'll do it. I'll do it in a bit of a more friendly way. I'm not just going to lead you into a trap, because that was kind of what I was planning on doing, and then cackling and going, "Aha!" I'm just going to be straight up and tell you where there be dragons. So let's add some stuff in here, like dinner. I've said cooked already. I don't know. Sleep. Make awesome VueJS apps. Yep. So we're going to go into. Let's say if I go into this Vue developer console here, and I find this array here. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I update. Let's say I just go into the data and directly change it to like do some more laundry. Oh, that does also work. Okay, that's slightly bizarre. Okay, basically the thing is that inside a method. So if I have a method here that's like change list here, and we do a direct assignment on the list. So we do this .to do, and then we do like second, and it's like ha 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 ha. And let's say I just call this randomly, like button hat click, and we just call change lists. So what I'm doing from this, do mad stuff. So say I have so what I'm doing inside of here is something maybe you probably want to do at some stage from code. It's from code. I'm just setting actually, I've been using a lot of Lua recently, so my counting's gone on. We're going to set the second element equal to ha 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 ha. Yep. And if I click that button, it doesn't do anything. So I guess the question that doesn't do anything, even though notice that in the data it's changed. So we can go to data here, to do, and it's been set to ha 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 here, but we're now not seeing it change where it says do laundry. Have you all managed to reproduce that?
Not yet.
Oh. think next year it's going to be rough for people doing uni courses because it's kind of difficult to concentrate very long, like from home. Imagine doing it an entire year of this.
Probably only got about another half an hour to go.
Yeah, no. No, I mean just more generally, man. Like, I feel bad for people who are starting like first year or whatever.
Yeah,
No
it's probably-
freshers.
they're not used to like the whole uni system, I guess.
Yeah.
Or imagine starting second year in a first year mindset.
Oof.
Oof.
So how you started second year, Mark?
I started off worse.
That's not good.
I did great in first year, so I was like, this is easy.
I went into second year realizing that I was going to get a 2-2 and being like, right, now I need to convince myself for the next 3 years to keep on working, even though I know the exact grade that I'm going to get, and there's pretty much nothing I can do about it. So that was fun.
Oh, Dan, do you need a hug?
I always want to hug Rob. What does do mad stuff do?
Right.
Change list.
So
Yeah.
I'm calling a function called change list. Yeah.
It doesn't
And
do
change
anything.
this is well, yes, precisely, Dan. You think you'd think that would change do laundry to ha 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 ha. Yeah.
I would.
And see that down here in data in the view dev console, it has changed to ha 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 ha, but it hasn't updated. So what the hell has happened? Huh?
Interesting.
So what do you think's happened? Don't be. I'm not expecting you to really know. This is kind of like I didn't know this until I found out about it. So.
Well, I have no idea then.
Okay. So what the thing is that Vue. So there's this whole idea that Vue up till now automatically reacts to when stuff like this happens. Yeah. So whenever we use to do, yeah. Whenever we change any of our data, that the VueJS will automatically update itself to respond to the data. Yep. Now, the way VueJS works is VueJS can't listen to whenever you're doing a direct assignment like this. So whenever you're directly overwriting the value of a data at a particular point, it can't listen. It's just the way JavaScript works. VueJS can't tell that this has happened. So from VueJS's perspective, the data hasn't changed. Stuff like push and splice, VueJS can detect, so that works fine. But this sort of stuff, this doesn't work. So I'm going to comment this like VueJS can't detect this. And there's a whole class of things that you do with lists, and it kind of comes down to the fact that lists are these like immutable things, and it just means that VueJS can't listen to them. Where's the list? I'm looking for the little list that has the thing that tells you what VueJS can do. Yeah, so the VueJS, there are the things on VueJS that you can use on a list are there's a thing here, and it's on the list rendering page under mutation methods. These are the things that you can use. These are the things that Vue will listen for. But other stuff VueJS won't. So here you go. It says here, due to limitations in JavaScript, there are types of changes that VueJS cannot detect with arrays and objects. These are discussed in the reactivity section. Let's go to the reactivity section. So yeah, for example, you might have noted if we add stuff to data after data has been created. So if we did, for example, this dot new thing, and we set it equal to like, look, a new thing. Yep, this new thing in data, it would show up in data, but it wouldn't be reactive because Vue doesn't know to listen for it. I think I discussed that right at the start of when we were doing this, that like you have to tell VueJS what you want to use right at the very start. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all your variables that you want to use, you have to declare in data. You can't just add them on using this dot. That won't work.
Yeah.
And it says here again, for example, VueJS can't detect when you directly set the item with the index like this, vm.items index of items equals new value, or if we modify the length using this. So VueJS said in this case here, this sample thing we've written here, VueJS can't detect. So how can we make it? There is a way to make it do it, and there's kind of two ways. There's this nice little helper function that we can use called view.set. So you can go view.set in here, and it actually tells you how you can do it. Here you go. So you can do view.set. You pass in the first argument is the variable that you want to set. So in our case, it's going to be this.todo. The second argument is the index. So in our case, 1. And then the third argument is the value we want to set. So in our case, ha 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 ha. And then we'll put in brackets, jokes on you, Vue. This is my terrible humor. So now if we try this out, look, it works. Except I forgot a bracket at the end because I can't do English properly. There you go. And now see it works. So is that clear at all why that's working?
Not really, just because it kind of seems a bit arbitrary that the view set works.
Yeah, so view.set is a special function that Vue uses. That is, it's syntactic sugar, like everything. I mean, the whole of Vue is just a whole load of sugar. I mean, everyone's gonna have bad teeth by the end of this. But yeah, so the whole thing is that by doing this, we tell Vue explicitly that we want to change. We want to change something. Now, what this is actually doing behind the scenes, for if you're wondering, so view.set again is just running 2 lines of code, but really nicely. What it's first doing is it's doing a this_to_do.splice at the index and removing 1 item. Yeah, so it's removing what was there, and then it's just inserting to_do.insert index, and then blah, blah, blah. So it's basically just doing 2 lines of code. But because VueJS can't detect just a direct overwrite, the way VueJS works is you have to remove what was there before and then insert something new. That's what it's doing behind the scenes. If that makes sense at all. And you're right.
Ben,
Ben, is he gone?
he's gone.
Yeah. So I was on mute, didn't realise. So those 2 statements are just equivalent, like splice plus insert and view.set.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
But view.set, shut up, Siri. I just leaned on my bloody iPad button. Fuck off. There's something else to edit out. I've got a lot of editing. I'm gonna try and edit these like when they're all done. Just try and see because I think we can cut out like a solid 30 minutes out of each of these recordings.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the view.set just exists just to make it a bit easier because typing is, why have 2 lines when you can have 1? And it just kind of looks a bit nicer. Like that kind of makes sense, I guess. Like view.set is saying it's just kind of to make it look a bit nicer. But that's something important to know, that whenever you're directly changing the value at an index, you have to use view.set. Otherwise the reactivity system won't work. It won't react to the change. So that's something important to know. There's one final. Oh yeah, there's filters. We're not going to do filters today though. Or are we? Yeah, no, we're not doing filters today. Filters are complicated. There's one final little thing that's kind of important, and it's going to be something that we haven't done here, but you are probably going to do every time you want to go forward, and that is that whenever you create a v-for loop, you should always v-bind key to be some unique value for each item in the array. So in this case, we could use index, because index is unique. But of course, we could have some problems with that because say we had multiple for loops, then we'd have multiple indexes that are different. So you might want to come up with, you might, when you're doing this stuff, you often might want to have some sort of unique ID for the elements in your array that's unique to your entire Vue application, because otherwise these are going to get repeated. But you need to, whenever you're doing a v-for, you should also always v-bind this key to a unique value. And the reason is that if you do this again is to make sure that the reactivity system works properly. In our case, we haven't actually, because I mean, that was kind of would have happened if we used the edit thing. So if we tried to edit using like a text box here, again, it wouldn't work because or it would either work or it wouldn't be very efficient if it did work. Because VueJS doesn't keep track of each of the v-for items individually, unless you specify a key, which you basically always should. So that's just something to know. You don't need to fully understand why key works. You can read more about key. I don't really understand fully how key works, to be honest. But just make sure you v-bind a key whenever you have a for loop. Otherwise, bad things will happen. So that's here. Otherwise, here, if you don't, then you do so at your own peril. Cool. Happy?
Yeah.
I think so.
So did everyone say happy there?
Yeah.
Happy.
Ben, you happy?
Happy.
Okay, good.